And after my parents' divorce, I made a promise to myself that I wanted to be with a man who did have a relationship with God. I also wanted more out of a relationship than just a few moments of fun and physical attraction. So I made a decision. I was not going to have sex until I was truly in a committed relationship.
Hello everyone! Welcome to episode 2 of Ask the Girl from Schenectady. I am your host, Oduayo Magic Odumi, aka Ayo Magic, the girl from Schenectady. So that clip you just saw was a clip from my one-woman show where the main character makes a decision about her sexuality based on her constantly dating Mr. Wrongs. So today's topic, standards. Do we single women have high standards when it comes to love? Are we constantly looking for the wrong things in men? Well, I have a lot to say about this topic. But first, let's hear what some men and women are saying about it.
I definitely feel like it's important to, maintain your standards, whatever they are, to have some and to not be swayed by whether, other people or social media or pressure. Of course, a lot of people are going to say, oh, you should lower your standards because they want you to come down to their level and to accept whatever trash that they're going to bring your way.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to want a certain characteristic or attribute. So I don't want it to think all women to be like, dang man, they're dogging us because that's not
right.
Yeah, I think all of us would agree that. But I'm not a tall guy. I know my brothers are Courtney and again, I can tell y'all pretty tall just in the picture, right? I'm 5'5" on a good day, right?
I'm not.
Okay, you look tall. Deceptive, like in the picture in the frame. But I'll say this: is I'm 5'5" on a good day, right? And with that, and I know some women like tall guys, some guys like some women like dark guys, light skinned guys. Some brothers like light skinned girls. Whatever the case may be, some brothers might like to date outside their race. So we like what we like, right? But I think sometimes we use those as barriers that we can be potentially missing our good thing, right? So I definitely wasn't my wife's ideal everything, she liked taller guys, she liked darker guys, and look at me, right? So I think when we set these kind of limitations or expectations, we sometimes will prevent us from getting our blessing or whatever is meant for us. So I would say it's not a bad thing, but at a certain point you also have to ask yourself, well, why do I have a certain type and what has that gotten me in my life, right? If I have been going after a certain type of woman or a guy, how have those situations ended up, and also seek wise counsel, right? Not everyone in your circle is wise counsel, right? But pick somebody that you can trust and their life that they live dictates that they're a trustworthy person and that their information and advice they're giving you is worthy because of the type of life they're living, right?
First of all, have them. I was like, have them because it's important. Because if you don't have them, then you'll just kind of take whatever comes your way, and that's not the goal either.
I mean, I wouldn't call their expectations unrealistic because there is a guy out there somewhere that meets that criteria, right? But the thing is, when you have this long laundry list of things that you want, so you got to be 6'2" or above 6 feet, you have to make 6 figures. You got to have swag. You got to, dress like this. You got to make you laugh. And then by the time you get to the bottom of this list, you're only talking about maybe 3% of the male population, right? So you're making it to where your pool of potential mates are decreasing every time you add something onto that list.
I don't think anyone's standards are too high. I feel like what is for you and what you need is what you need.
Yes.
So, and I feel like if you set standards that are astronomical, there's somebody out there that's going to meet those standards. He's somewhere, right? And I feel like the ones who aren't going to meet those will just fall off.
Now, I have dated several different women who, were looking for something more material out of, their mate, either wanting to only date someone in their field, like if it was a model. They just kind of were looking for that superficial satisfaction of kind of that status report that it would give, you know. I've also dated someone who wanted a 6-figure income, you know, gentleman. So I think that happens more often than not, whether the person will reveal it right away or through conversation or just through the years of getting to know someone. You know, you kind of start seeing a trend in the conversations being had or the issues being you know, brought forth into the relationship. So I think that one people probably will have a lot of experience with.
You want what God has for you, and He, you know, God doesn't work on our timeline, like, and it's like it's what is perfect for you, and maybe there are things that you need to do first. And then when God sends you your husband, and it's gonna be like a whirlwind, like, all right, let's go, you know.
And sometimes in that wise counsel, you'll see that, oh, well, maybe I should give this, you know, this woman a chance or this guy a chance, and it may still not work out. But I think sometimes when we have these unattainable lists or these lists that we've always gone by, we don't even know why anymore. We've just been doing it for 15 years. That's the list. That's the qualifications. We have to sit down and have a real conversation with ourselves and say, well, why do I want these certain things? You know, are they negotiable? Are there deal breakers? Or is it just something because I think that I deserve someone who's 6 foot tall?
Wow. That was enlightening. Okay, so here's my opinion. Standards, in the words of Devon Franklin, ladies, raise your standards so high that a man has to get a nosebleed to be with you. Come on, standards are there for a reason. There's no such thing as high standards or low standards. They're just standards, you know? And second, for me personally, as I'm evolving mentally, emotionally, spiritually, so are my standards. They're gonna change. It's called growth and self-development. We should all be doing it. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, please don't tell your friends and family to lower their standards because you couldn't meet yours and you settled in your relationship. Oh, sorry. That's a topic for another episode. So that concludes today's episode of Ask the Girl from Schenectady. Please tune in to episode 3 where we will continue part 2 on the topic of standards. Now, I do need to disclose I am not a dating coach or a licensed therapist. All of my opinions are based on my experiences. Please tune into the next episode. Don't forget to comment below if you have anything to say. I would love to hear your opinion, your comments based on the topic of standards or high expectations. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Talk to you soon.